Okay, here are some 10-ounce silver bars. These are a lot of fun. Check those out.
How much is 10 ounces?
10 ounces. That's a 10-ounce silver
Too
bar.
bad that's not gold. Got any gold ones? Is this like your whole collection here?
No, this is a fraction of my
10 ounces.
Okay, so here's
Alexa, how much is an ounce of silver?
So what you're going to watch here is an interview I did with a really good friend who also happens to be a podcaster and a pretty big YouTuber. His channel is in the description below. He has 92,500 subscribers. And the reason I'm sharing this video, we recorded this for his podcast, but he gave me a copy of it, and I'm thankful because he is someone who doesn't know a whole lot about silver and gold. I've talked to him about it here and there, but I thought when we record this podcast, I'm going to get into it. I'm going to go deep. And that's what I did. I went deep. And what I hope is that you can watch this video. It can be instructive to you on how you talk to your loved ones and people you care about precious metals and the importance of stacking and why we do it and help make sense of it. So I did some show and tell. This is a pretty long video. So listen to this one while you're driving. This is a long-form conversation. We get into a lot of stuff. We talk about the Fed. We talk about cryptos. We talk about central bank digital currencies, all kinds of stuff. I don't want to make this part too long. I want you to enjoy the conversation, which is going to start now.
Greatest bass lines.
Money.
Money. The Donald Trump song?
Oh.
So you're thinking Pink Floyd?
Pink Floyd, Money.
You know what?
You know what that is? By the time you're to the third note, you know that song. Doon, doo, doo, doo. You know that's it.
So, when I was growing up, there was certain bands, classic rock bands now, that I didn't appreciate, but I do now. Like Led Zeppelin, like Jimi Hendrix, like Pink Floyd. Way back when, I didn't get it.
Dude.
So I've been starting to listen to some, but to listen to Pink Floyd, like, not the radio version, but like the actual album version, it's like, I never knew that like all that was before the opening of that.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of drugs were they doing for that?
Dude, I love Pink Floyd so much.
Whatever happened to that? Like, why did
Roger Waters is still making music, dude. Roger Waters, he's a big anti-government
anarchist?
I mean, yeah. No, he's unfortunately he's very liberal, but he's like a Noam Chomsky.
He's still making music, but who's listening to the new music?
Me? I like it. He's hard, man. Like the stuff that he is saying against the government and the lockdowns and everything. It's spot on. Yeah.
He's saying that in his music.
He's tweeting it.
You're on Twitter?
I'm on Instagram, and stuff from Twitter bleeds over to Instagram. So I miss Twitter actually because I used to get a lot of news from there, but I got a lot of junk. So yeah,
money.
What about it?
Disclaimer in the beginning. We need to give a disclaimer in the beginning.
About what?
Don't.
This is not financial advice.
Do not rely solely on.
Do your own research.
Like, get your own financial advisor. Do not go and buy and sell based on just what you hear here.
Yeah.
Because have all your ideas been good?
No. No. But here's the deal is like, education is expensive, So when you make financial mistakes, just think of it as education,
Dogecoin.
Okay, so you want to talk about cryptocurrency?
I own 2,000 shares.
You own 2,000
Dogecoin.
There's not shares.
Yes, right. 2,000 coins.
So I love crypto for the fact that it is teaching people the failure of the modern monetary system.
I've lost a lot of money with my Dogecoin.
A lot of people are going to lose a lot of money
Actually,
in cryptos.
Have I lost any if I don't take it out?
That's it. You only realize the loss when you cash out.
I haven't cashed out,
Well,
but I see the value that I have compared to what I put into it right now.
have you tried learning technical analysis? Like how to read charts and how to use charts to predict future performance within a reasonable degree?
Only dabbled for a while, and then I got a headache.
It's hard. I mean, I have the benefit of, my best friend from high school. He's been trading since 1995, and he is a genius. And he's smart enough. The problem when it comes to money is people aren't smart enough to know what they don't know, and you need to know what you don't know. So, for example, if you are buying a cryptocurrency and your intention is to hodl, I'm a hodler.
Hodler. What do you mean, hodler?
You're not selling.
Well, yeah, okay.
You're not selling no matter what. And that's fine. I'm a hodler when it comes to precious metals. I'm not buying them with the intention to sell.
Today I made $2.78.
Oh, are we doing that?
Oh, I made $2.78 in the last hour.
Oh.
Today I have made $3.34. This week I have made $28. So actually Dogecoin has leveled out this week. This month, however, I have lost $85, and in the last 3 months, I don't even want to tell you.
Anyone can look at a chart and see what.
I'm embarrassed to say how much I lost. Anyway, I'm not throwing money at it anymore. I haven't ever since the SLN episode.
SNL. Yeah.
SNL when what's his name?
Oh, Elon Musk. Yeah.
Elon Musk told his mother, like, I lost all this money. I'm blaming Elon Musk because it was going up and up and up. And I got in at like, I don't know, 40 cents. Mm-hmm. And it was up to 70 cents during the Saturday night.
And you didn't pull off any profit.
I did not, because I thought that it was going to go up even more. But what I learned is speculation is when it goes up. Reality is when it goes down.
Yeah.
He told his mother he was going to get her a gift for Mother's Day, and she said, "I hope it's not Dogecoin." She could have just as easily written. They could have just as easily written the bit, "I hope it's Dogecoin."
Yeah. Well, the thing is that it's Dogecoin.
Dogecoin.
Doge. Dogecoin.
I like dodgeball rather. Doge sounds German.
The whole idea behind cryptocurrencies is to have currencies decentralized out of government control.
China doesn't like that.
Except they're using it. They're making a digital yuan, which is their currency.
They don't like it unless it's theirs.
Right. So they kicked out all the Bitcoin miners, and Bitcoin dropped off precipitously. And there's a lot of conspiracy theories regarding Bitcoin, that some people believe it's a psyop to get people used to using digital currencies, so that and this is absolutely the Fed chair, Janet Yellen, others are talking about a central bank digital currency and getting rid of paper cash. That is a super bad idea. That is a super terrible idea, and people need to fight against going into, because it's not going to be on blockchain. It's going to be totally traceable. By the way, what was that hack? Which hack was it where the government, was it the pipeline that paid in Bitcoin, and the FBI was able to recover some of that Bitcoin? Anyone wonder how they were like, wait a second, this is supposed to be this super secure. How did they recover Bitcoin? That's where the conspiracy theory aspects of it come in. But what's important about cryptos is that it's teaching people that the modern banking system is utterly untrustworthy. It's corrupt to its core, and you should do everything in your power to be outside of the financial system as much as possible. You need to be outside of the banking system as much as possible and control your finances yourself. And the first key in doing that is getting out of debt, eliminating your debt.
Bitcoin.
Probably up about 40?
41,000.
Yeah.
800.
Yep. And my day trader friend, he's not a day trader. That's not an accurate. He's a trader. He's not a day trader. But let me tell you what he said. We were talking about the Bitcoin charts.
The last 3 months, Bitcoin's down 15%. The last year, it's up 30,000.
So here's some technical analysis that my buddy sent me, showing the charts and showing that channel, those orange lines going down, right? So what he's doing is recognizing there's a downward pattern of lower highs and lower lows, and it's going down, right? And but at the end here, you see it starting to break the ceiling of the channel. So he said to me, noticed a Bitcoin reaction at the trend line from April and May swing highs. Right now it's recognizing it and deciding if it wants to break out or push to the downside. And this is the Bitcoin's futures market. I said, what direction do you anticipate? He says, I can't tell at this point. I have a slight bias to the up, but I don't see a setup for an entry. In other words, where does he want to get in? You know, he wants to, there's certain things he's looking for, certain trends before he throws money at it. He says, you can also do a failed breakout and then react strongly back to the downside, and it could continue lower. So that's the kind of stuff I'm trying to learn as I'm, but I'm not gonna dabble in cryptos. I think about it, but it's too volatile. It's and at the end of the day, it's digital beanie babies. I get it. I get the power of the blockchain. I think the word currency gives us a bias because it's not a currency. It's a digital asset. It's really not a currency. No one's going to what is it? Wawa, woo woo. Wawa. No one's going to Wawa or Quick Trip here in Wisconsin
7-Eleven
to buy the Circle K. No one's using Bitcoin to make purchases. So it's a digital asset. The word currency kind of gives us a bias towards it. So, but we know that every fiat currency in history has always failed, and people think that the dollar is somehow going to be an exception to the rule, and it's not. It's just not. Right now, because of the way the U.S. has weaponized the dollar and used sanctions to punish countries, people are looking for an out. Countries are looking for alternatives to the dollar. Russia, China, Iran, Iraq, Venezuela, and they're all talking with one another and using alternative currencies, and they're just trying to decide which one it is. We broke our deals, man. We after World War II, when everybody owed us money for us basically supporting the war effort with Britain and France and everything, how did they pay us back? They paid us back in gold. They gave us their gold. That's how America's got the highest gold reserves that we know of in the world. And so, I talked in a previous episode about how corrupt bankers are and how bankers run the world. It's true. And the game is rigged, but if you want to win the game, you have to know how the game is rigged, and you have to play by those rules. So central bankers, they're backing all their assets in precious metals and in gold. And I believe that is the path that people should use to protect themselves against the theft of the government, because it does essentially what the Bitcoiners and the crypto people want to do, is to decentralize money. And gold and silver have historically been money since Scripture. Jesus said, to the disciples when he was sending them, he said, do not take any copper, gold, or silver for your belts. So he was saying, don't take any money. Trust God is going to provide for you through the people you're going to minister to. And I mean, it goes all the way back to Genesis. Gold and silver have historically always been money. Always.
So you're a big silver guy.
I am.
But silver's going down.
Doesn't matter. It's never been zero. It's true. It's never been zero. And if you look at a chart, go back to about 1981 on the silver charts, and you'll see just consistent. And it's really interesting when you lay silver off over inflation charts. What you see. You want to do some show and tell?
Sure.
I brought
what do you
some
got?
stuff.
What do you got? I wondered what you had in that. It's been here all day.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a cornhole bean bags in there.
No. Well, here, I brought some. I got some in my pocket, too. Here's a whole bunch. Because you've never really looked at silver. This is my collection of Canadian silver half dollars. Those are 80% silver. Up until 1964, American change, half dollars, dimes, and quarters were 90% silver. And in 1965, they stripped it all out. And people like our grandparents were smart enough to know.
This is Canadian money. This isn't real money.
It's 80% silver. Those are worth about $7.50 a piece.
It's not Canadian. It's not real money.
It is absolutely real money. Here's some. I think I have some. Yeah, these are Canadian dimes. Those are fun.
Yeah, but no one's going to the Wawa and paying for their gas.
No.
The silver.
Exactly. What you need to look at silver and gold is as a savings account. It's a savings account that will not. Okay, so let's say you put $10,000 in the bank in a money market.
Mm-hmm.
What is the interest rate on that?
I don't know.
It's about 1%. What is the rate of inflation?
Sometimes 5.
Right now, if you look at shadowstats.com, which, again, knowing how the game is rigged, right? So, the consumer price index is kind of how we measure inflation, right? So they've removed key things out of the consumer price index, like gas and housing, things like that, so that they can artificially show, like the Fed admits their goal is to keep inflation at 2%. Well, your money market's paying 1% interest. So you're losing 1% every year you keep your money in the bank, right? Silver and gold are a protection, a safe haven, a hedge against inflation.
Now, when you explained this to me, it made sense.
Yes.
So, again, he just said silver is a buffer to inflation.
Correct.
It protects you against inflation.
Right.
And I was like, what does that mean? So explain it, because I do understand it now.
Okay. Here are some 10-ounce silver bars. These are a lot of fun. Check those out.
How much is 10 ounces?
10 ounces. That's a 10-ounce silver bar.
That's not gold. You got any gold ones? Is this like your whole collection here?
No. This is a fraction of my collection.
10 ounces.
Okay, so here's...
Alexa, how much is an ounce of silver?
As of July 30th, silver traded at $25.46 per troy ounce on the foreign exchange.
So how much is it? This is $25
since previous close.
25.10 per ounce is spot price.
Well, this is 10 ounce.
That's the paper. So
this is $250.
That is, well, you can't get silver for.
Is this going to hurt my computer?
No,
they're not magnets, are they?
No, they are.
This is a nice paperweight, though. This is a nice paper.
This one's cool. Check this one out. That's a poured piece of silver in the shape of Iron Man's helmet. That's a cool one.
8.3 ounces.
Yep.
But does it lose value if it chips? Like right now?
Well, I mean, if it loses weight, it loses some of its value if you chip it. But scratch silver. Silver's silver. And the reason why silver is important is because it is also has massive industrial use.
It's light. It's fun to touch it too.
It is, dude. Like these 5-ounce bars. Okay, so let's talk inflation here.
0.99%.
That's
silver,
the purity. It's 99.9% pure silver.
as opposed to these coins are
80%.
80.
Right. So 3 9's fine is considered pure. Yeah. So this is a 5-ounce bar. I like the 5 ounces because this is a really good.
So where would you take this to cash this in?
Pawn shop, local coin shop, eBay, Craigslist. When my wife and I were in
Who's going to give you the real value though? A pawn shop wouldn't give you the real value.
they'll give you spot. They'll buy it at that spot price. You can't buy it at that spot price from them. They're going to put a premium on it of about. You're going to pay usually for this about $28.50 to $29.50 an ounce for this. Now there's
wait. Wouldn't you, instead of that, say what percentage higher? 20% higher than the actual going rate.
So $25, you pay $2.50 per ounce premium.
So
about $4.
So if I wanted to buy $1,000 of silver, where would I get my best?
The local coin shop.
The local coin shop. How much would they give me? If I give them $1,000 and I walk out with.
Well, now it depends on what kind of silver you want. This is an American Silver Eagle. This is the American sovereign coin.
I don't want all these variables. I
mean, that has the highest premium. That has the highest premium, but you're also that is going to be the easiest thing to resell. Like, for example, in Florida, if you sell this to a coin shop, they have to treat this like pawn, and they have to hold on to it for 30 days before they can resell it. So they're not going to want to give you a lot of money for this. They're going
I don't want to collect. I want to invest.
Don't think of it as an investment. Investments pay dividends. Silver doesn't pay a dividend. And here's the thing. So, the minute you buy this, you've overpaid for it because you've paid the premium. So you paid $290 for this. It's worth $250. So if you buy this for $290, you can sell it tomorrow for $250. You've lost money. So this is something that you're looking at. This is a long-term play. That's what I'm saying. All right. So, but the American Silver Eagle that I gave you here, that is good. Everybody in America wants it because they know they can sell it quickly. So
you have a smaller one over there too. What's that?
This is a 1 ounce bar. There's a 5 ounce.
Sunshine minting.
Yep, that's a generic. Now here's the other thing. This American Silver Eagle is denominated as $1, right? So that's money. That is considered currency.
So how does this?
It's considered currency. Now you're not going to use that as a dollar, but because of that, because of the fact that is money, there's different tax implications for that than this when it comes time to sell. But tax implications are only if you sell more than 10,000 at a time. So then there's numismatics. There's a Morgan dollar. You're familiar with Morgan dollars. Here's the Chinese sovereign. This is a Chinese panda.
China. These are made in China?
Yeah.
You're supporting slave labor.
Yeah, I do. We all do. This is a Perth Mint Australian. This is an Australian.
I don't want to collect. I don't want to do this.
No. Here's the thing.
This is just muddying it. This is too complicated.
It's not complicated because when you go to the coin shop, you have to buy what they have. Now, this is an important one, Tim. This is one of my favorite pieces of silver. Read the back of it.
The back of it.
That's the front with the little ship on the
Best Christian Podcast, btwn.com. I don't own btwn.com. You know nobody.
Isn't that a band or
nobody
something?
Nobody owns btwn.com.
Why?
Because whoever is holding on to it wants over $10,000.
Oh, well, that's silly.
It says, honest value never fails.
Read the other side.
I can't. Constitutional Mint contains 1 troy ounce.
Read the inscription on the...
I don't think I can. All
right.
No, I can't.
All right, let me read it for you. This says...
Is it scripture?
No. It says, no state shall make anything but gold and silver coin as legal in payments of debts. Article 1, Section 10, U.S. Constitution. The Constitution states that the only thing that is money, that is legal tender, is silver and gold. You ever seen The Wizard of Oz?
Yeah.
You know what that movie's about? It's about silver. In the book, Dorothy didn't wear ruby red slippers. She wore silver slippers. In 1873, the great crime of 1873, this is a cool one, Wall Street Bets.
This guy's crazy about... Is that Trump?
No, that's the Wall Street Bets guy from Reddit. The little...
Are you sure he's not?
He kind of looks like Trump. But there was an argument about silver and gold. You know, silver is like the money of the people. Gold is the money of royalty. That's kind of the historical view. And so Dorothy walked the yellow brick road representing gold with silver, because that was the only way to navigate the gold standard, was with silver. So there's a whole history. I encourage you to just Google the actual story.
Who was the Wicked Witch?
I don't know, probably Obama.
See, I was believing you until that.
So there was a race for president that in the 1830s, or I'm sorry, in the 1870s, and the Tin Man represented the industrialized East Coast. The
Scarecrow.
The Scarecrow represented the farmers in the Midwest and the South.
The tiger.
Yeah, the lion. The lion represented, and I can never remember the guy's last name, but this guy, Brian the Lion, he was running for president. They called him Brian the Lion because he was very boisterous in his stance for silver being money, and he lost, and the reason they think he lost is because he couldn't get the Midwest farmers. They agreed they wanted a silver standard for money. The industrialized East was not down with it. He couldn't bring the two together to get them to agree, and so therefore he did not win the presidency. Silver was demonetized, and therefore, I shouldn't say it was demonetized, because it was used in the minting of money, right? So anyhow, it was called the Great Crime of 1873 when that happened, because all of a sudden the wealth all went, because silver was demonetized and gold was monetized. It was this was in the 1870s, like a $3 billion debt wealth transfer to people already holding gold, which I have here.
So how does silver protect you from inflation?
I'm glad you asked. I'm going to get back on this point. Okay, so this is 5 ounces of silver.
Okay.
When you were a kid, when you graduated high school, how much did a gallon of gas cost?
$1.29.
$1.29. So this is $1.30 right here in silver, right? 2 $half, 3 dimes. Let's just pretend they're American.
That's today's price?
Yes. No, that's the price then.
But you're not talking in terms of silver. You're talking in terms of
dollars. But these are dollars. That's why I'm showing you I'm not showing you the bullion. I'm showing you the coins.
Okay.
Right? So $1.30. Now, in today's value, this would be, let's see, it's $1.40 is an ounce of silver. So this would be about $24. This is $24 worth of silver.
This silver right here is $24.
Yeah, this is
today.
$24 worth of silver. Had you paid with your gas back then with this $1.30, now think of inflation. Gas is what, $3.99 now?
No, I know this answer because I bought it in multiple states. It is very high right now in northern Illinois. It's $3.55.
Okay.
Here in Wisconsin, $3.10.
Okay. So let's go back to when my dad graduated high school, which would have been 1964, which is the last year silver was in quarters. A gallon of gas was a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, today, this quarter is worth $5.50. So if silver was never remonetized, you would be paying for gas with this quarter and getting change back. That's how you're protected against inflation. Now, let me use the 5 ounces of silver because this is pretty practical to me. 5 ounces of silver is about 1 week's worth of groceries in my family. Maybe 2 weeks. $25 an ounce times 5, that's $125, right? So $125.
You feed a family of 4
per week.
per week, $124.
Yeah.
How do you, wait?
We
Like,
hunt and fish. We don't buy all of our groceries. So $125 a week. So this is 1 week's worth of groceries for me, right?
yeah.
Now, in 10 years, when the price of groceries go up, this will have gone up also. This will still be 1 week's worth of groceries.
Well, how do you know it's going to go up?
Because silver has an adverse relationship to the dollar. Here's what people don't understand about money is that the inflation doesn't mean the price of things goes up. It means the buying power of your dollar decreases. So your dollar is actually worth less.
Right.
Your house, when it was built, was probably, the first buyer of your house probably paid less than $10,000 for it.
Right.
So what changed about the house that now makes it worth $100,000? Is it the same wood?
Yes.
Same copper in the and everything in the walls, and so it isn't the things became more valuable about the house. It's the buying power of your dollar has actually decreased.
Went down.
Right. The buying power of the dollar has decreased 98% since the inception of the Fed in 1913.
All right. So let's imagine this, okay? Let's imagine that I'm a young man. I am in my late 20s.
Yep.
I got married. I want to save for my child's education.
Okay.
College.
Yeah.
What's the college education cost today?
In the state of Wisconsin, the university is about $18,000 a year for just the classes.
All right. So that's a lot of money.
Yep.
I need to save $80,000 for an education for my child.
Right. And here's the thing. Your child, if you have a child tomorrow, that child's not going to school for 18 years. So it's not going to be $80,000 in 18 years. In fact, I was just having this conversation. When I graduated high school, I could have gone to UW River Falls for about $3,000 a year.
So here's how silver protects you from inflation.
Right.
The simplest way to explain it. If me, being in my late 20s, happened to come across $80,000, I inherited it from my great uncle. If I took that $80,000 and bought silver with it, that same $80,000 will be able to pay for my child's education.
Not necessarily.
In 20 years.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yes.
It protects you. No matter how high it goes, you will have money for that item.
Right. Right.
That's how it protects you from inflation.
Right. And the reason is because not only is silver valuable because of its monetary value, it's used in jewelry.
I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong because I only learned this from you.
Okay. Well, the thing you have to, silver is considered an opportunity metal, so it's a lot more volatile than gold. Gold is a lot more stable long term. Silver has been as high as $50 an ounce in 1980 when the Hunt brothers tried to corner the market on it. As recently as 2011, it got up to like $45 an ounce. And this year, it got up to about $32 an ounce. It's the only commodity in 2021 that isn't higher than that hasn't gone above its all-time high. Every other commodity, oil,
So why
soybeans.
not invest in gold instead of silver?
Well, that's a good question. Gold is definitely more stable. It definitely has a lot more upside potential. But Alexa, how much is an ounce of gold?
As of July 30th, gold traded at $1,813 and 79 cents per troy ounce on the foreign exchange,
1,000.
down 0.77% since previous close.
1,000 what?
$877, or yeah, 1,000.
And you have
$1,800.
And you have 14 pounds of it right there.
No, good night. I wish. So
Just getting the gold out, folks.
So silver. The
Let
reason
me touch some gold.
Have you never touched gold before?
I have gold in my
pure
ring.
Gold? Pure gold.
What? How much is in my ring?
That is probably 10 karat gold, and it's probably less than 5 grams of silver. I'm guessing, or gold.
Does it say on the inside?
Yeah.
Mine has a message from my wife inside it.
Here's a 1 ounce gold bar. This is the. I'll take this one out of the.
You know what? Mine doesn't say what amount it is.
Then it's fake.
No, it's not fake.
Here's an ounce of gold.
An ounce of gold. Here is. I am holding. How much today?
About $1,800.
I've never held an ounce of gold.
Yep, and that's a generic bar. That's a generic gold bar.
It's satanic. It's got the devil's eyes with a crown and
It's
flames, hairs
It's
of.
actually a lion wearing a crown.
I know.
Tim.
Let's try it. Scottsdale Mint, 1 troy ounce.
And that's 4 nines fine.
Now
That's
you
the-
have a 5-pound bar. No, wait. Why?
no.
I'm able to have these
Yeah.
in front of me for a whole 15 minutes. You all of a sudden you want this back?
I was going to exchange it for other things, Tim. So here's the thing with gold is like not everybody can afford it. Not everybody has
So,
$1,800
like,
to shell out
yeah.
for an ounce of gold.
But if you like, can you invest in gold on the stock market?
You can buy what's called an ETF, and that's basically buying paper shares of it.
shares.
But the rule of thumb is if you don't hold it, you don't own it. You know.
But that's if it collapses. But can't you like take advantage of the gold market by investing in gold through the market?
Yes, it's less trustworthy though, because it's just like fractional reserve
You
banking.
trust no one, do you?
I don't. I certainly don't trust bankers. So the way you want to look at it is you want to have control of your money, and this is the way to do it. Here's an American gold buffalo. This is probably my favorite coin.
In the whole world?
That's of gold bullion.
What does bullion mean?
It means like
It says it's 1 ounce,
it is 1 ounce,
but it says $50 on it.
right. It's currency. So
This
again,
is a $50 coin,
right,
but it's worth $1,800.
right, because the government's stupid. The gold in the government's reserve they value at $45 an ounce. It's stupid. So up until 1933,
Wait, that's the same weight as this?
Same, yep.
It feels heavier though.
yeah, I know that's my favorite piece of gold right there. That dense little sucker. So up until 1933, gold was in money. There was then gold was confiscated by a Democrat president, Roosevelt, who is probably the most evil president who ever lived. He confiscated gold from
Wait.
Americans.
Worse than
Worse than anybody. There's never been a worse president.
Obama?
Yes.
Clinton?
Yes. Trump?
Trump?
He was a thief. He stole gold from people. At that time, gold was $20 an ounce. There was a one ounce gold piece. This is the closest representation to a 1933 St. Gaudens gold eagle. 1 ounce of gold was $20. And out of patriotism, you should turn in all your gold. And he gave everyone up to a date. You can keep 1 ounce, 1 coin per household, and everything else you had to turn in, because your paper money used to say that you can take this paper and then trade it for the equivalent amount of gold. And he took us off that standard, and he said, no, we need to turn gold in.
What was his reasoning?
To steal.
No.
Yes, it was.
Come on.
No, this is when the whole gold standard started, and this is exactly what the Wizard of Oz was warning about. Okay, going full circle. So
if I wanted to buy gold, like people who are listening and watching, they're like, I got this question, and we're just like, we're just skimming over the top here.
From 1933 to 1976, it was illegal to have private ownership of gold that was not jewelry. It was illegal. And so within a week of confiscating America's gold, they, by dictate, said gold is now worth $35 an ounce. It was worth $20 an ounce. So they upped it by... from 20 to 35, what is that, a 70% increase?
Yeah.
So had you been like, I think I'm going to keep my gold, and I'm just going to bury it in the backyard, you would have almost doubled your money.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
So if I wanted to go, like, what is the smallest amount of gold physically that I could buy today?
You can buy it in grams. Here's a
gram.
Here's a 2.5 gram gold bar.
How many grams are in a pound?
30. Well, in 1 ounce, there's 31.101. I believe is
31 grams.
31 grams in an ounce of gold.
In an ounce.
So you can buy.
That doesn't sound right.
It's true.
30.
Alexa, how many grams of gold are in an ounce?
Here's something I found on the web. According to wiseajik.com, 1 avoirdupois ounce of gold is equivalent to 28.5 grams.
See, because I knew you were wrong, because it's an odd number.
Alexa, how many grams of gold are in a troy ounce of silver?
Here's something I found on reference.com. The unit of measurement for gold is troy ounces, not regular ounces, and 1 gram is equal to 0.03215 troy ounces. Dividing both sides of this equation by 0.03215 finds that there are 31.1 grams in 1 troy ounce of gold.
Troy ounces.
Len Pettis is correct again.
So that's a 2.5 gram. This is a 1/10 ounce American gold
2.5 grams.
Yep. So you can get fractional gold.
I wouldn't want to buy this. I don't want to hold it in the case.
I get that. That's why
How much is this one? This one is...
that's a 1/10 of an ounce.
1/10 of an ounce.
That is 1/10 of an ounce.
So this is...
about 3 grams.
This is $160 or $180.
Yeah, but you're going to pay about $250 for it.
I don't want to pay $250 for it.
Well, the smaller it is, the higher the premium.
What if I just want to... I don't want to collect coins. I want to do it for financial security. What am I going to buy?
For financial security, this is how you want to have it. You want to have a coin.
This?
You want to have
all
coins
of these?
because this is going to resell the most quickly. These are going to
South Africa.
Yep, that is the South African Krugerrand, I believe, started in 1972. And I think that's a 78.
This is 1 ounce. You're a financially wealthy man.
I'm
Look
not
at
wealthy.
all this money.
I'm not wealthy.
We are.
But this
wealthy.
is money.
We are rich. We are rich
Well,
in Christ.
We have to remember the warnings of Scripture that were given in James, is that and in the Old Testament, that don't lay up your treasures on earth where rust and moth can destroy it, right? But also, it says that
buy silver.
Our gold and silver is going to become worthless on the day of judgment. This does us no good, right? But we're also told to be financially wise. That's a 1/10 ounce American Gold Eagle also. That one just happens to be slabbed and graded.
Slab and graded.
So yeah, it's in that protective case. It went to a company called ICG an internet is called like International Coin
Gold
Graders.
Eagle.
So they grade the coin based on the condition, and MS-70 is the highest grade you can get. So you said like you had Morgan dollars from your dad, right?
Something.
Yeah, that's what this is. So let's say you have one that's super rare and great condition. You send it off to a coin grader. They'll grade it and put it in a slab like this to protect it from any future damage. And usually there's like a barcode or a serial number on the back, so you can. So when it comes time to trade it or sell it, the person buying it can look up the coin on the website and see the date it was graded, who did the grading, and stuff like that. So it's just an extra level of security and verification. I just happened to buy that one because it was a really screaming deal.
What does Dave Ramsey think of all this?
He thinks gold and silver are stupid.
Really?
Yeah, he hates it.
Well, he seems smart.
He is. And when it comes to debt,
He hates it?
he hates it.
Why?
I made a video on my
How
YouTube
is-
channel
how
about
is that? He like really smart people say, well, people who seem smart say, your portfolio should have a certain percentage of
10%, usually
gold
5
and
to
silver.
10% of precious metals in your portfolio.
But he says none?
He thinks it's stupid.
Why?
Because he doesn't understand it. Dave Ramsey, as good as he is with the debt, he doesn't understand the monetary system at all. He doesn't understand that we live in a Keynesian debt-based system. You have $1 in your pocket?
You mean a credit card?
$1.
That was a scary noise. I do.
Isn't this cool though? Isn't it cool to hold a 10
How about a
ounce bar?
$500 bill?
Oh, that would be worth more than $500.
Does it matter what kind of bill I
No,
hand you?
give me any bill.
Okay.
So you're just showing off.
I
Out of
am. It's the
50.
biggest. It's the biggest one I had in there. So I'm
is-
traveling. I'm traveling today.
What does the very top of the bill say? Federal Reserve what?
Note.
What is a note?
A promise.
A
Is
pro-
that the right answer?
Kind of.
Who is that guy? A grant.
Yeah. Ulysses. It's debt. You have a note on your house. You have a note on your anything that you have in debt. It's a note. This is debt. We live in a debt-based system. That's why saving is discouraged.
Do you know what blows my mind to this day? When I was a young whippersnapper
Yeah.
riding in the car, going by the bank, we got talking about what's that when you can put your money in the bank for 6 months, 9 months? What are those called?
Like a CD.
A CD.
Yep. Certificate of deposit.
This was in the late 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Timmy, you've got $100 or whatever. I don't even know if you can put a CD. I don't
You can
remember.
still do CDs. Absolutely.
I don't remember the conversation, but I remember vividly knowing that if you put money in a CD for a year, you would get back 114%.
Yeah. And
For 1 year, you would make 14%. But weren't we like in a huge crisis then, right?
oh yeah.
With gasoline
Yeah,
and
yeah.
lines and
Yep.
Carter and
Interest rates were through the roof. And my parents when they bought their house in 1972 paid like 16% interest. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and when Paul Volcker was the head of the Fed under Reagan in 1980, he raised interest rates, and he was the last man bold enough to say that Americans are going to have to tighten the belt. We have to rein this. It was a problem, and he reined it in, had mass prosperity, and in the 90s we squandered it. And it's because we don't live. Okay, man, we could just go so far into the whole banking system, but when people think of the bank, if you take out a loan for $100,000, why do you think the bank can give you $100,000?
you just
Okay,
I just got distracted because if there's a new building going up in your town, it's a bank.
yes, or a Quick Trip in Wisconsin. But yeah,
Like you drive by, you wonder what they're building, and then you finally see the new Key Bank.
It's a
or
bank,
the M&T,
right.
or like there's so much money in banking.
in a gold-based system before 1933, before a bank could lend you any amount of money, it had to have that amount in reserves. That's why you deposit.
Where'd my $50 go?
I gave it back to you.
You took it from
I
me.
gave it back. I told you to read it. So the understanding was to loan out $100,000, you had to have X times multiple of that in your savings reserves, right? That's why when banks loan out money, they charge, let's just use easy math, 10% interest. And what do? They pay the people depositing and saving the money 2% interest because they're going to use that as the reserves to save, to lend out and thus make more money off of. Fractional reserve banking as it is now, when they lend money, they don't have to have any reserves. They don't have to. They're creating the money out of thin air. It's just a number on a ledger. And so essentially when the bank gives out a loan for a mortgage, they are creating money.
So they gave out, they paid, you buy a boat, you buy your $25,000 boat. They pay for the boat. Right?
Yes.
Money changes hands.
Right.
So where do they
But
get
how
that
does
money?
Did you take cash? Were you given $25,000 cash?
No, they bank check. I didn't buy a boat, but
Right, but anytime you do, it's a bank check or it's a money transfer that they do directly with the dealer that you're buying from.
so
there's no cash.
That just goes.
It's numbers on a ledger, dude. All it is numbers on a ledger. There's no cash. Why do you think they want to go to a cashless society? It's expensive to
Who
make.
wants to go to
it's
cashless
expensive.
society?
The Fed. They want to go to a central.
Ours? United States?
Yes, I want to ask Alexa, but it'll be a long answer. So we'll spare that. But just Google central bank digital currency. The central banking system, the reserve, which the Federal Reserve, by the way, is not federal, and there are no reserves. It's not federal. It's not a government agency.
Well, wouldn't
it's
it
a private bank.
Wouldn't it be easier if we had like a chip in our hand where that would be like a credit account, and we wouldn't have to like carry notes around and credit cards, and we could just maybe if we put something here on our forehead,
Right.
and they could just take that scanner and go,
Yep.
And, okay,
and now you can trade.
Your groceries are paid for.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice?
Because your employer pays you via your scanning.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that work better?
Maybe. But
how many people listening are
you want to do what's easy or do what's right? Here's the thing is that this system in the last year and a half has created it has moved money it has taken money from poor and giving it to the rich. Think of like 2008. People lost their houses. And you can say, well, yeah, they couldn't pay the loan, and that's the terms of the loan, and you can't pay.
You know what bugs me about that?
What?
It's like some people didn't lose their houses. Some people, by God's grace, they were able to bust their butts.
Yeah.
They didn't stop paying, even though they had gotten into situations they shouldn't have. They hung on. They made sacrifices in other areas and paid for their houses, and they got no help, where these other people got huge help.
People who lost their houses did not get help.
A lot of people did, though.
Well, but they were getting pennies. Like, okay, like you lose your house in foreclosure, you can do like a cash for keys program, where if you turn in your keys by a certain date, the bank will give you like $5,000 to help cover your moving expenses and things like that. When you have nothing,
Didn't a lot of them get bailed out though?
No, banks got the money. Banks got bailed out, and people lost their homes, and so the banks they were made whole. They were given the money that the debtors owed to them, but the debtors didn't get to keep their houses. Furthermore, those banks then got to sell those houses at public auction and recover further. In the insurance world, there's a word called indemnity, where you're made whole. You're made whole. A storm hits and a tree falls on your house, and there's a big hole in your roof. The insurance pays to make you whole, to cover the loss. You can't profit from insurance.
That's the whole thing. The banks profited big time. Big time. They made giant money. They got bailed out from the banks. Then they got to repossess the assets and resell them on a secondary market to who? Investors. Investors.
Okay. Let's change the tone of this conversation to hope. Where is the hope? Right? So you're concerned. You see what's happening. What do you, are you all doomsday? Are you all doomsday? Or, what?
I am bearish on the world economic system.
Bearish.
Bears and bulls, you know?
Yeah. So what is our hope? I mean, obviously, regardless of our financial situation, housing situation, God is going to take care of us.
So
We're going to be okay.
Absolutely. Look, my hope is not in this, right? And by God's grace, I'm going to die, and my kids are going to take this, and they're going to be like, "Oh, cool, Dad's coin collection. I forgot he had."
And
this.
then they're going to do what I did.
Right, and that's
Go
fine.
Cash it in.
Sure. And you know what? That was a blessing to be able to do that. But the reality is, remember that guy Sully who crashed the plane in the river and everyone lived?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of how our economy is. We're in a controlled crash. And we haven't made impact yet.
So who's Sully, though? Who's the guy who's going to keep us from dying?
There is no Sully.
Poor God. There's the title. There's the title. There is the title for the podcast. There is no Sully.
There is no Sully. That's the world economic system is going to crash because there isn't a nation in the world right now that backs their money with anything tangible. There's no tangible assets. Think about it. El Salvador just approved Bitcoin to be currency. And the International Monetary Fund is rebuking using digital cryptos outside of the banking system as their national currency.
Don't the globalists want that all to crash so there can be a new currency?
Yes.
And how can there be a new currency when countries like China aren't going to go along with everybody else? How can that work?
War.
Because we do believe that there's going to be a one world government eventually.
Yes. But
can you be a post-millennialist and believe that?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, they would say the one world government is going to... We don't want to get into eschatology.
Right. Okay. So,
Look,
the one world government that the Bible promises is going to be one of peace for a time, right? Like it's going to be.
But you put down dispensationalists.
Well, that's not a dispensational belief. I mean, you certainly believe that in the end times there's going to be a one world government and it's going to be one of peace. That the beast
initially,
system, initially, right? Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So, I don't believe that is in our near future. Yet, you know, the wars are always fought for resources, and the system is going to collapse, and it's going to be a war for the control
Is it going to be
resources.
A physical war, or is it going to be a digital war?
I think it'll be both. I don't think that nuclear war is anywhere out of the question. And nobody hopes I'm wrong about this more than I do. I really want to just die and pass this stuff along, or just have it never be found in the backyard where it's buried. You know, so
we have given no financial advice.
No, my advice is that everybody look into precious metals and study. There's a great series on YouTube that I want everyone to look up, and I have to look up the guy's name because I don't remember. Sorry, I don't remember the name of the video series, but it's a 9-part series.
Alexa, what time is it?
5:40.
The time is 5:40 p.m.
If you're hearing interference, it's Len Pettis' phone.
Sorry about that. I'm trying to hold it away from the microphone.
What do you say we give away some of this silver to the first caller?
What is it called? I think it's
For those of you who happen to be listening just on the podcast, Len has laid out all his life savings.
no. This is. I've been collecting for a long, long time. This is not something that accumulated over a short period of time.
What is the last thing you bought?
Oh, the American Gold Eagle. Oh no. Yeah, the American Gold Eagle right here. The last
This one
purchase
here.
that I made. Yep.
And how much you pay for that?
$1,820.
Alexa, how much is an ounce of gold?
I can help reorder everyday items.
Alexa, how much is an American Gold Eagle?
Alexa, how much is an American Gold Eagle?
Do you want to know the price for American Gold Eagle?
Yes.
A top result is 1986 present random year 1/10 of an ounce American Gold Eagle coin brilliant uncirculated in United States. It's $366.62. If you like this option, say add to cart.
No.
Alexa, stop. I almost bought gold just now.
Alexa. Never mind. So, I got that at spot.
Canceling.
I got that at spot price because I found a company that was doing a deal. So I bought this at spot price. That's really rare. Usually you pay an 8% premium over spot for 1 ounce for a 1 ounce American Gold Eagle. So about $1,940 roughly. So it was just too good of a deal to pass up. So I went to the bank and I took money. I took my fiat money and I exchanged it for real money. So yeah, we live in a debt-based system. And so the bottom line is that to protect yourself from inflation, gold and silver are safe havens. Cash is not safe. Cash is trash. Although, I don't want to be paid in firecrackers, so I want cash. It's important. But
I heard somebody say very confidently online in a TikTok video, some guru guy, he said the value of a dollar is going to go down, economic collapse. My response is to buy things.
yes, assets,
He's
physical assets. Yeah.
He's taking all his cash and buying stuff.
Yes.
Because stuff is going to be worth things. Now, in the same thought, I've heard rumors that Bill Gates is buying up farmland,
He is the number one owner of farm property in the world.
which would go along with, like, if he thinks his money's not going to be worth as much, but land will always be worth something.
Right.
You can always have value in that. So
Yeah.
that goes for the same thing. So if you have, for the listeners who have, $1 million in the bank, first you want to, consider giving the Bible thumping wingnut, of course. But
Here's what
so
I'll
that
for the average person, right? Let's say you're like most Americans and you make $44,000 a year. I think that's the average salary for American men. Women make only 70% of that. Anyhow, that's a joke. So if you're average, step one, get out of debt. Do everything, beg, borrow, steal, drive for Uber. That's, Catherine and I, we got rid of $36,000 debt in 18 months using Dave Ramsey's system. And, I was driving Uber, selling on eBay, having garage sales, and just selling everything. The kids were nervous. So, it's starting to rain. So get out of debt. Step one. Step two, get $1,000 in the bank. Have $1,000 emergency fund saved up that you do not touch until you need to buy tires for your car. The clutch well, does anyone have clutches anymore?
how is it that the average income is $44,000.
Because it's average.
But it's so easy to make more than that. Well, listen, any guy, any healthy male or female can go to driver school and become a truck driver. Every healthy person can become a truck driver. And truck drivers are making way more starting pay than $44,000 a year.
Yeah. But there's a lot of people who work at Wawa and Quick Trip too. You know, so it's an average. It's an average. Get out of debt. Get $1,000 in the bank for an emergency. And then after you've done that, get a 3-month emergency fund for all of your expenses. If all of your expenses, gas, food, groceries, and mortgage or rent are $1,500 a month, get $4,500 in the bank. All right, that's going to be added. That's $2,500 plus the $1,000 you've already saved. Okay, and the biggest thing is just get on a budget. You've got to give every dollar a job before you get it. You have to. Your money should have a purpose before you get it, and you should know exactly where it's all going. Once you've done that, then you can start purchasing assets, purchasing gold, silver, baseball cards, comic books, if that's your thing. I mean, I like silver and gold because they both have massive industrial use. Silver is used in every piece of electronics in your house. Your microwave panel has several grams of silver just in the touch buttons, right? It's the greatest conductor of electricity of every metal. It's used in solar panels. It's used in wind farms. It's used in batteries. And with the Green New Deal, there's if anything close to the Green New Deal comes to pass, there's going to be a great need for a lot of silver. And so its value is going to go up. In fact, the price is being suppressed so that...
So you're pro-Green New Deal?
If it makes my silver go up. Look, it's coming, dude. That's going to be the next lockdowns will be climate lockdowns.
Mm.
So silver is an industrial metal as well as a monetary metal. Gold is a monetary metal, primarily also used in jewelry and some industrial stuff, really high-end electronics, because of its ability to conduct electricity. Copper might be considered a precious metal in the next decade or so. Right now it's an industrial metal, but I mean, it was going for $3 a pound, which is insane.
It's got to be worth a lot because people are still stealing it from houses.
Yeah. They're doing that because they can take it to the recycling plant and get good money for it. People are cutting out catalytic converters.
Yeah.
Around here, there's a real problem with catalytic converters being stolen, and the value is the platinum inside of there. There's platinum and palladium inside of catalytic
So
converters.
why not invest in platinum? Can you invest in platinum?
It's never been. You can. You can get this
platinum.
I'm sorry, not that. You can get this in platinum, palladium, rhodium, or silver.
Ford pickup trucks have a platinum model, and that the whole what's that thing on the back of a pickup truck? Your
tailgate.
The whole tailgate is platinum.
Well, it says platinum.
That's got to be worth a lot of money.
Yeah. Platinum. I don't stack platinum or palladium because it's never been considered money.
So you have
It's never been
YouTube.
used
You have a
in that.
YouTube channel you talk about.
I do.
This stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How do people find that?
The Potter's Stackers. Just search the Potter's Stackers on
Stacker.
Yeah, a stacker is just a term for someone who collects. Like you stack.
It's for a coin geek.
Yeah, it's
Coin geek.
Coin geeks are stackers. So, yeah, I mean, I have a lot of different stuff here, but usually I'm just buying what's cheap and available. That's why I have a lot of variety. So
All
these
right.
are Canadian. These are Canadian silver dollars. This is one of my favorites. That's the Death Dollar, 1958 British Columbia
$1
Their
Ooh,
centennial.
that looks like a.
That's a totem pole, is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, looks like some kind of. All right.
Yeah. So this is very cool stuff, and it's fun. And what I just think of this as a physical savings account. I don't think of it as an investment.
Physical savings account.
It's just, instead of having cash, and what's nice about it is that I can't just go to the ATM and pull the money out and go spend it on some impulse buy. I have to. It takes a little bit of effort to convert this to cash.
Last question.
Yes.
Somebody today has $5,000 that he doesn't need right now.
So he has no debt.
But you're right. He doesn't need it.
He's on a budget.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
He doesn't need it today.
He's got an emergency fund.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever. In his mind, he doesn't need it right now. and he knows he won't need it for at least 10 years.
Yeah.
So what should he do? In your opinion, what should he do with $5,000? You know, and that question is so nuanced because it matters whether he's 18 or 75.
Yeah. Let's say he's our age. All right. Let's say
34.
He's 34.
No,
I mean, look, if you have
that was
$5,000,
a joke about our age.
Yeah, if you have $5,000, I mean, I have a hard time saying go buy $5,000 worth of silver or gold. $5,000 in silver is going to look something like this.
Dogecoin.
This is about $5,000 in silver right here, 3 ounces.
That looks
At
like
18.
gold to me.
Or yeah, gold. So you can go buy 3 ounces of gold, but I mean I'm not sure if I had $5,000, I would just go throw it at gold.
All right.
You know,
Yeah, well, duh. There's the question. You have $5,000. You don't need right now. What will you do with it?
I'm gonna buy gold. I got to think about it. Like, yeah.
I don't know.
If, in that scenario, I am buying $5,000 in gold, 100%, 100%. Yeah, but you know, my situation is different. You know, if I have nothing, if let's say you've never heard this stuff before, but it's making sense to you, and you got $5,000, and boy, what should I do? I would go buy. You know, I would go buy some of each. I would maybe get an ounce of gold, maybe 2 ounces of gold, and do the rest in silver. I want a little of each because this is the opportunity metal. This silver has a much greater upside potential than gold. Gold has reached its all-time high this year. Silver hasn't reached its all-time high in almost 40 years, 41 years. So it's got and every commodity this year except for silver has exceeded its all-time high.
As we said in the beginning,
it's not financial advice.
consult your
No,
mother. Ask your mom what you should do.
do research. No financial planner, very few financial planners are going to recommend this. Dave Ramsey hates this stuff. I made a video on my channel showing why Dave Ramsey does not know what he's talking about when it comes to precious metals. And really, in the 2008 financial crisis, he looked like an absolute clown.
Did he respond to your video?
No. I've emailed it to him. I've called him. Nothing. He's ghosted me.
He doesn't do his own show anymore on the radio. Some other guy does it.
Yeah, he's got a whole team of people.
They're good. They give good advice,
Look,
but the answer to 9 out of 10 questions is go to our website and contact one of our financial advisors. Do they charge for that?
No. They look. When it comes to debt, listen to Dave Ramsey. His plan flat out works. When it comes to investing, listen to some of what he says because some of what he says is great. But the bottom line is you have to do your research. Don't gamble. Don't take some idiot's word for it on YouTube. You know,
Or on a podcast.
like you know, I just wanted to show you this stuff because I've been talking to you about this for a while now.
It's fun. I
And
like touching it.
It is, dude. Dude,
You could build
this has a
stuff.
vibration to it. When you hold it, you're like, it's cool. It's cool,
You
isn't
could
it?
stack it. You could pile it up.
I mean, when you grab that, did you expect that to have the weight and density in your hand? Like, holy cow.
Kind of, but I never have held it, so that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
It is.
All right, we need the wrap. This has been episode 6 in Wisconsin with the Len Pettis.